As a 30-something, if you have ever sat there and thought to yourself, why do I feel so lost? Everyone else seems to have figured it out, or I should know what I want by now, this episode of The Confidence Show is for you. The truth is, you're not behind, you're not a failure, and you are definitely not alone. You're stuck in a narrative that's preventing you from moving forwards. So today, we're going to get to the root of why you actually feel lost and what you can do about it right now. Let's start with the biggest lie you've been telling yourself. I should have my shit together by now. That one sentence is ruining the life of so many people in their 30s because it instantly says, I am lacking something, therefore I am not good enough. Based on the narratives that have been passed through the generations and then exacerbated by the media, it is highly likely that you have internalized this idea that you're supposed to have figured it all out by your 30s. You're supposed to have the relationship, the career, the 2.4 kids, the perfect skincare routine, the money in the bank, the regular holidays, the savings accounts, the investments, literally all of it. But that should is bullshit. This isn't a story or a narrative that you have chosen to help you progress through your life. This is a narrative that you have absorbed from others. You've absorbed it from society, your upbringing, social media, and that story is making you feel lost in your 30s. Like you don't know what you're doing, or you're failing at life when everyone else around you is doing so well, or is perceived to be doing so well. If you haven't seen the video I've done yet on this shit together mindset that's ruining your 30s, I highly encourage you to go and watch that after you've listened to this. The second reason you may be feeling lost in your 30s is a two-parter. Either you don't know what you want because there are so many different possibilities of how you could live your life, or you are stuck in this people pleaser mindset where you feel like you have to make everybody else happy in terms of the way that you live your life, i.e. your parents. So you have to follow a path that's going to make them happy, that's going to make them proud of you. Or you do know what you want, but there is something telling you that you can't have that, or something making you feel guilty for wanting such a grand life. Maybe you think you're not even allowed to have a life that exciting. Perhaps you secretly want this like big, bold, grand life, full of adventure, where you travel constantly, where you work for yourself, where you fall in love with someone amazing and you have the fairy tale and you live abroad and whatever it is. Maybe that is your idea of the perfect life. But then you hear that voice whisper, who do you think you are wanting all that? Maybe I should be more realistic. Things like that aren't possible for people like me. So instead of using that vision, that expansive, exciting vision to fuel you forward, it makes you feel greedy or ashamed that you want so much from your life. You shame yourself for dreaming too big, not being realistic, and wanting more than you have right now. And that's why you feel stuck. Not because you're lost, but because you're afraid to claim what you actually want from your life. Afraid that you'll be judged by family, by friends, by people on the internet. Afraid that you'll claim to have these big dreams and these exciting ambitions, but then you'll actually fail to make that happen. Afraid that it makes you greedy or ungrateful or selfish to actually desire more from your life. I regularly swing through these phases of really wanting more from my life, wanting to go back to my travel days, wanting to live abroad and work abroad and really pick up where I left off when I first started my business back in 2018. But then I feel guilty for wanting to be away from the family and not being able to help out with my brother and his kids or be there to support my grandparents. And then I have dreams so big, so expansive, and this tiny little voice is like, but how the hell do you think you're gonna manage that? That's not possible for you. Are you joking? When this happens, it is often down to the lifestyle that I've been living in the weeks previously. So I probably haven't had enough sleep. I probably haven't been eating properly. I haven't drunk enough water. I haven't been exercising. I haven't prioritized my self-care. I haven't looked after myself as much as I know I need to in order to function well. Typically, I'm feeling a bit burnt out. Maybe I'm hormonal, maybe it's something to do with the moon, but there's definitely something external that that affects these internal beliefs. But when I am feeling my absolute best, thoughts like that wouldn't even dare to enter my mind, and even if they did, I wouldn't entertain them. I'd be able to shoot them down immediately. So your lifestyle really impacts your mindset on an everyday basis. I once heard the phrase, if it is desired by you, it is destined for you. I want to say that it was Catherine Zenkina that says that from Manifestation Babe. If I've got that wrong, I am incredibly sorry. But now, whenever the doubt sets in, or whenever I think about the incredible life that I want to create for myself, I refer back to that phrase. I'm like, if I'm thinking about this, it is supposed to be for me. I repeat that phrase to myself in my mind, and I remind myself of all the incredible experiences I've had already in my life that when I was younger, I never dreamed of believing were possible for me. I also like to look at the grand lifestyles that other people are living when they've come from a similar background to me and think to myself, well, if they've done it, of course that's possible for me. Of course I can make that happen for myself. Don't let anyone shame you for your vision. You deserve to live the life you actually desire and not the one that people tell you you should desire. And don't forget, we're allowed to change our minds. Just because you decide you want something from your life right now doesn't mean that's the exact path you're gonna wanna follow forever. I had a chat with my friend and host of the Remote Life podcast, Han, last year, and we talked about how my vision has changed since my 20s and what my vision or my ideal around freedom looks like compared to what I thought freedom was when I first started my business. So I'm going to link that for you because it is such an interesting conversation to listen to, especially if you're in this place of feeling lost or feeling like you can't change your mind again in the future. The third reason you are feeling lost in your 30s is because you are trapped in this identity of I'm so lost. You've adopted that narrative and now it's something you tell yourself all the time. The more you tell yourself you're lost, the more your brain looks for evidence that that's true. And the more you'll start to believe that about yourself. If you tell yourself the same thing over and over again, ultimately, that is what you're going to believe. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so far behind. I'm stuck. What you think you believe and what you believe becomes your reality. And there's a difference between you actually acknowledging how you're feeling, acknowledging where you are, acknowledging that you don't feel good about things right now, and using it almost like as an excuse. Oh, I can't take action because I'm lost. I don't know what I'm doing with my life, so I can't make any decisions. Or I haven't got it all figured out yet, so I can't commit to anything. But what if, instead of focusing on feeling lost, you focused on the version of yourself who doesn't feel lost? Ask yourself, what does the not lost version of me believe about themselves? What does their daily routine look like? What choices do they make regularly? What do they say yes to? What do they say to themselves on a daily basis? What thoughts, behaviors, or habits are they entirely unavailable for? How do they present themselves to the world? How do they show up for themselves and for their vision? This is exactly what we dive into inside The Standard Is You. Because when you start identifying with the version of you who knows their worth, who holds their standards, who believes in their vision, and who trusts that they're worthy of it all coming true, you no longer feel lost and you no longer get caught up with living your life in a way that was never meant to be your lifestyle anyway. So you don't get caught up in all the ways you're supposed to be living your life based on other people's expectations or opinions. Your identity is something you get to choose. It's something that gets to change and evolve and expand as you move through your life. You get to decide who you are, what you want, and what you get to have. And from that empowered energy, that is how you make a change. That's how you take action. And that's also how you're able to thrive in the present as you strive towards your vision. So if you've been feeling lost in your 30s, here is your reminder that you are not behind. You're just in between the person you were told to be and the person you're choosing to become. If you're ready to step into the most confident version of yourself, I would love to have you join The Standard Is You, my 12-week group program for 30-somethings who are done with settling and ready to raise their standards in every area of their life. Or if you prefer weekly confidence coaching in the palm of your hand, check out the Confident AF membership. It is your go-to safe space to stay on track with your goals, dream your biggest dreams, rewrite the negative narratives keeping you trapped, impact. And ultimately, it is your space to feel supported, empowered, and encouraged to actually turn your dreams into your real life. Remember, you're not lost, you're just realigning. And honestly, although it may not feel like it, this chapter of your life, this feeling lost moment, is an opportunity for you to rebrand, reinvent, reconnect with your dreams. It's almost like a fresh chapter to experiment, to chase new goals, to reach new levels of confidence. Use this chapter as an opportunity. See it for what it is in terms of possibilities. You've got so much space to really redesign the life that you want and to really rebrand yourself. That is a positive thing. And when you look at it from that mindset, you'll stop viewing it as this awful feeling that's keeping you stuck. In the last episode of The Confidence Show, I talked about the rebrand of my life that I've been taking myself through for the last few months, for the last year. So go and give that a listen now. And I also have a 4-part Rebrand Your Life series on the Your Confident 30s website. I will make sure that is linked for you too, to support you in this moment of feeling lost in your 30s. If you enjoyed this episode, please take 30 seconds to leave me a review on iTunes. It really does make a difference to me and the podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next one. If today's episode of The Confidence Show gave you the boost you needed, share it with a friend or leave a quick review. It really does mean the world. And if you're ready to stop settling for okay and start living your 30s with more clarity and confidence, check out The Standard Is You, my 12-week coaching program designed to help you stop feeling behind. You'll find the link in the show notes along with other useful resources. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.